We are the 9U Journey Grizzlies. Today, the Cardinals are in Chicago to face the Cubs.
Go Cards!
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and Cardinals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Today it's game number 3 of the 4-game series here at Wrigley Field. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. Jim Hayes is here. That's Jim Edmonds, the Cardinals Hall of Famer. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Very warm day here at Wrigley Field yet again. And you see a Major League debut. It's Luke Weaver. Really looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah, we are. Always good to see a young man being called up for the minor leagues. Today we're going to see a 4-seam fastball with a cutter, a little bit of a changeup and a curveball, velocity between 92 and 94. Occasionally gets it up to 96, maybe 97. But I think another exciting day for the young group of St. Louis Cardinals to be in the big leagues.
So Luke Weaver making his Major League debut today. Alex Reyes will piggyback him more than likely. And this season in the minors, he's been at AA and AAA and now promoted to the big leagues. So it is Luke Weaver making his Major League debut here today. Always fun to see this. Tough assignment, though, to do it at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, today is going to be a tough day. Wind blowing out again, and the red-hot Cubs on the other side.
So it's the Cubs and the Cardinals here in game number 3 of this 4-game set. It is a packed house, the unfriendly confines of Wrigley so far. Game number 3 coming up on Fox Sports Midwest. At Wrigley Field in Chicago as we get you set for baseball game number 3 of this 4-game series. Luke Weaver making his Major League debut. Adam Ottavino made his Major League debut here at Wrigley Field. The last Cardinal to do that, it was May 29th, 2010. He went 5 2/3, 5 hits, gave up 4 earned, walked 6 and struck out 5. The Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. A look at the Cubs this year. Very good offensive team, very good pitching staff as well. It's the Cubs and the Cardinals. It's game number 3. Luke Weaver, Major League debut, is coming up. Beautiful day here at Wrigley Field in Chicago as we get you set for baseball game number 3 of this 4-game series. Luke Weaver making his Major League debut. Adam Ottavino made his Major League debut here at Wrigley Field. The last Cardinal to do that, it was May 29th, 2010. He went 5 2/3, 5 hits, gave up 4 earned, walked 6 and struck out 5. The Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. A look at the Cubs this year. Very good offensive team, very good pitching staff as well. It's the Cubs and the Cardinals. It's game number 3. Luke Weaver, Major League debut, is coming up. to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Chevrolet. Visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. A warm day here at Wrigley Field, and the wind is blowing out. 83 degrees, mostly cloudy. Jim Hayes, Jim Edmonds, Dan McLaughlin with you. Game number 3 of this 4-game series. Major League debut for Luke Weaver, and he gets a good one in Kyle Hendricks to oppose him. Hendricks is 11-7. ERA is just above 2. So the Cubs take to the field, led by Anthony Rizzo, and away we go. Different look at the top of the lineup for the Cardinals. Greg Garcia will lead it off, followed by Steven Piscotty. Matt Carpenter dropping down to third. Brandon Moss, the cleanup man. Then Yadier Molina, Johnny Peralta, Jed Jerko, Randall Grichuk, Luke Weaver. What's going through his mind right now? Luke Weaver inside that Cardinals dugout.
Well, hopefully just a little easier than a normal day. I mean, this is a tough day, and all you really want him is to be at ease as much as possible. You know, what's really great about having guys in spring training and kind of getting them around the team and used to being in this atmosphere a little bit, especially for the St. Louis Cardinals. I mean, our spring trainings are pretty good judge of what it's going to be like during the season. So great fans, but this is something special. And when we opened, I mean, you can't really see it on TV, you can't feel it on TV, but there's a different atmosphere here this year. It's louder, the stadium's amazing. It's just going to be a fun day for Luke Weaver. I hope he gets to enjoy it, because I'm enjoying watching this. I mean, it gives me chills to see these people and the way they've changed this stadium around, and the energy in this atmosphere today is going to be amazing.
11-7 for Kyle Hendricks on the other side. 2.17 is ERA. The Cubs have won 11 straight. First time they've done that since 2001. They have the best record in the big league, 73-41. The Cardinals on the other side, 60-56. So a different look for Mike Matheny's club in terms of what he's doing at the top of the lineup. And that is Greg Garcia, and dropping down Carpenter to more of that traditional RBI spot.
And I do like this lineup. I really do. I think Greg Garcia is, you know, he's new to this situation, but he gives you a good at-bat, and he does a good job out there. Every time you throw him out on the field, he is a workhorse. So I like this right here. Give Matt Carpenter, drop him down a little bit. You put the Piscotty in between those guys. This lineup right here is still a good quality big league lineup, and I really like their chances.
Greg has dipped to 245. He is 0 for his last 25. So maybe you jumpstart him by putting him at the top spot. 3 home runs. He has driven in 15. And the 0-1. Hit down the left field line and out of play. Cardinals have hit 15 home runs this year against the Cubs, and hitting just 226 against the best staff, at least statistically, in the game right now. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Just missed.
Not by much there, Dan.
Nope. Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks. Could have gone either way. Same pitch. Struck him out. That pitch right there made Greg Maddux an awful lot of money wearing that Cubs uniform.
Yes, he did. And you can see the first pitch was a strike, pretty close to being a strike. And I was going to say, you can take it once, but I don't think you can take it twice, especially when he hits the exact same spot, just about 2 inches higher.
Here's Steven Piscotty, homered here yesterday, number 16. Lifts a fly ball down the right field line and out of play. That's Hayward back in right after the off day yesterday.
Tell you what, you talk about Greg Maddux making that pitch. He threw that exact same pitch over and over and over, but when he threw the ball, it looked like it was going to hit you when it was coming out of his hand, and it was so hard. You had to stay in there and think about yanking it foul. Hendricks, not as much movement, but still, that's such an effective pitch.
Number 31, Greg Maddux. There's that pitch there to a righty. Tails back in, a little bit low. Leads the club with 62 RBIs. And he's been so good with runners in scoring position this year, third best in all of baseball. Took something off it. Hendricks was acquired from Texas in the Ryan Dempster deal. That was in 2012. Fourth full season now in the Cubs organization. He's done a nice job. We showed you that flag, that number 31 that was waving for Greg Maddux. There's also a 31 for Fergie Jenkins. And both are Hall of Famers.
One would be in right field and one would be in left field.
3-2 the count on Stephen Piscotty. Ooh, and he's hit by the pitch. Game 1 it was Holiday. Now in game 3 it is Piscotty.
That is definitely not going to make Mike Matheny happy right there.
Nope.
Looks like it might have been a changeup at least. And it got away from him.
And again, another player hit on the hand. So he says he's all right. And now it brings in Carpenter.
Looked like right at the end there, caught a little bit of the knob of the bat, but maybe have softened the blow or took part of the blow away. But seems to be okay.
Pitch taken high. There's been a lot of talk about retaliation in the media concerning what happened the other day with Holiday. Now you have this with Piscotty. You've got a rookie making his major league debut. It's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of facets to this.
Tell you what, you want to prove that you're here to play and here to stay. You protect your team. As a rookie, it goes a long way for a long time.
Thinking the same thing. 2-0 the count. I'm getting old. He looks like he's 12.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, does he look like he's 16 or what?
Well,
That's so awesome.
Here's a 2-0. Carpenter pops it up and foul. Up into the upper deck of Wrigley.
And a whole beer on the ground. And all over the back of somebody.
Oops.
E4. Oh, sorry. That's not Colton.
Here's a 2-1. Foul back. Cubs with a 14-game lead in the NL Central. Last time Chicago held this large of a lead was 1929. That team went to the World Series and lost to Philadelphia. The 2-2. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Hendricks. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs. A look at the Cubs defensively. Zobrist in left, Fowler in center, Hayward is in right. Bryant, Russell, Baez, and Rizzo on the infield. Contreras gets the start behind home plate. The top defenders in all of baseball, and we saw that last year firsthand. That's Jason Hayward. Here's Brandon Moss. Home run number 19 the other night. Tied with Holiday for the team lead. Matt Holiday officially put on the DL today, and that cleared the spot for Weaver. Here's an 0-1 instead of check on Piscotty. After the ball game yesterday, and you have a major league debut, it's just a situation where it's something different in the monotony of a season, the dog days of summer here in August, and it gets the players excited too.
Well, we had that same thing the other day with Alex Reyes pitching in that game that was a little out of hand, and by the end of the game, people were on their feet. And everyone was kind of excited to see Alex pitch, and I think it's kind of the same thing here. Get him out there early though, and see if you can't change what's been going on here the last couple days.
A shift on here for Moss. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's one thing that Hendricks will do. He changes speeds very, very well.
You can tell too, because it looked as if Matt Carpenter was behind in a couple of those fastballs and didn't really get good swings at fastballs. You don't see that very often, so he's either a little deceptive or they know that he's got a really good changeup and a breaking ball.
Just like that.
Same thing.
A little late with the swing. Hendricks, 2.17 ERA, second lowest mark in the major leagues. The best is Clayton Kershaw. And here at Wrigley, he's even better. 1.19 is ERA at home. Struck out the side here in the first. And a major league debut for Luke Weaver coming up. Out of Florida, pitched at Florida State, and he was the Cardinals' first-round draft pick back in 2014, 27th overall. Rated as the Cardinals' #2 prospect by MLB.com, 93rd overall in all of baseball. So Jim Edmonds, what does he feature?
Well, from what I've been hearing, and I didn't get a chance to witness it too much during spring training, but 4-seam fastball, cutter, curveball, changeup, probably a little bit of a slider if he's got a cutter. So look for the velocity to be around 92 to 94. I think he pitches around 92 consistently, and I believe he's got 96 in there somewhere. So they're really excited about him. He's a good athlete. It'd be interesting to see how he goes out here in this first inning and attacks the Cubs hitters.
Tough assignment, good lineup. Right now, the best team in baseball record-wise. And oh, by the way, it's Wrigley Field. Always fun to see this, a major league debut. The family of Luke Weaver here in attendance at Wrigley. And the first pitch of his big league career is a strike.
I'll tell you what, that's a feat in itself right there, I think. That first pitch is to throw that for a strike under control. It's just something to be said about these young kids when they come up under control. Act like you've been here. Hopefully you can get through, breathe a little bit, and get through the first hitter.
Here's Dexter Fowler. Takes a pitch low. And he's got one of the game's best behind home plate to help him guide through this lineup.
Yeah, I would think there wouldn't be a whole lot of shaking off for a while until he gets a little comfortable. Maybe at all.
I was going to say at all. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play. Pitch at 94. He had great numbers in the minor leagues. 15-9, 1.78 ERA, and nearly 200 innings of work. A shift on here for Fowler. And he struck him out. First man he sees in the big leagues is a strikeout in a moment that he'll never forget.
It's awesome. Does that look like a little bit of a cutter right there? Started on the outside half of the plate and just ran across. One thing too about the hitters, you know, you can give a scouting report, but until you see it, it's not the same. And so talk a lot about guys hiding the ball or a little sneaky with a little pause, and you'll notice if that's the case, the fastball will jump on some hitters.
A pitch at 96. Chris Bryant at the plate, hitting .288, 28 home runs, and he has driven in 72. Mary and Mark Weaver watching, mom and dad. The 2-0. Hit out of play, 2 balls and 1 strike. That's Mark there, and
he has not cracked a smile yet.
Well, that's the Stone Buddha.
Yeah, that is. He's going to be the closer later in the game.
Mom is fidgety. Dad has barely even moved. Good pitch. And you think about all the people that helped this young man get to this level. Mom, dad, coaches, other members of his family, all his friends. It's a celebration not only for him, but for them too.
There's a lot of people help you come up through the ranks. And I mean, it's not just the minor leagues, like you said. It starts a long, long time ago. And there's definitely a lot of history between Little League and right now. And you can see his father is watching very he's at attention right now. That's how I watch my son, though. I see exactly. It's not fun in games out there when you're watching your kid.
2-2. Struck him out. What a start here for Luke Weaver. Brings in Anthony Rizzo.
Tell you what, the key to pitching really is, doesn't matter how old you are, is being able to hit your spots. And with Yachty back there, he knows the hitter's weaknesses, and if he can keep the ball around that glove where Yachty's putting it, he's going to be successful. I mean, if you got decent stuff and you can hit your spots, you're going to be successful. And if you're smart enough to just listen to Yachty and trust your stuff, you'll be just fine. I mean, Greg Maddux went a long way with 86 to 88. And guys are throwing 95, 96, and you just got to be able to hit your spot and not make too many mistakes.
2 balls and no strikes. Falls behind here on Rizzo. Springfield and Memphis this year 7-3, 1.30 ERA. That's fouled back. He's a 9th different Cardinals player to make his major league debut this year. 7th Cardinals pitcher to make a start. Behind the original starting 5. Mike Myers the other. Inside. 3-1. That's hit out of play. Now you may recall he was a non-roster invitee to Major League's spring camp, but then he had a wrist injury attempting to field a ball in batting practice that sidelined him until June. So he has made a rapid ascent this year to the big leagues. And the 3-2 pitch. Gets a ground ball and a 1-2-3 first inning for Luke Weaver in the big leagues. Now he can breathe a little bit.
Yes, and now he can breathe. What a great inning right there for him. Good start.
The first, and we check in with Jim.
I'm with Luke's mom and dad, Mary and Mark. What a great start to his debut. He didn't look nervous at all. How about you?
I'm a little nervous, but I try to take his example and try to stay calm.
What'd you think of that? 1, 2, 3 in the first, 2 strikeouts. What did you think, Mark?
Well, I've seen him do that a lot of times, not at this level, but I'm really, really proud of him.
Yachty finds a gap with that one. Mary, let me ask you this, because some Cardinal fans are just getting their first look at Luke. I've already interviewed him a couple of times. He seems like a very poised young guy that he's not going to be fazed by the enormity of this. What kind of kid is he?
Oh, absolutely not. He is amazing to me, how he can put himself in the zone, and whenever adversity comes his way, he seems to be able to contain it and go out and just do amazing things. So,
right, and this is his dream come true, to pitch for the Cardinals, right?
absolutely, and his Twitter is Dreamweaver, so this is it.
Dad, was there any last-second advice either this morning or leading up to this ball game that you gave to Luke?
Luke would tell you that I'm like a broken record. I tell him the same thing before every game: best pitch, one pitch at a time, and just let it rip. He has a great ability to go out there and put his mind somewhere else, and lock it in, and he's like a bulldog. So best of luck to Luke.
Mary, Mark, we're going to let you watch the rest of the game in peace, but it's been fun to watch him so far. Hopefully he keeps it up. Thanks. All right, guys.
Great stuff, Jimmy. Neat moment for those two as well. Luke Weaver, Major League debut, and a nice plug for his Twitter account from Mom.
I like that.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Johnny Peralta with Yadier Molina at first base. 4 strikeouts thus far for Hendricks. I don't care if it's a position player, old guy, young guy. I mean, debuts are just, they're cool to see.
They are. Well, I mean, you've been there. Your first day on TV here, doing new jobs, anything. You're nervous, and it's pretty sketchy. And I remember my first at bat. I didn't feel my feet, my hands, and I struck out on like a 84-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. So it's pretty special, and it's something that we should all enjoy, because he's enjoying it, and you don't get to see it a whole lot. So when you see it, you got to take advantage and watch every minute of it.
I was thinking some of the best moments that we've seen this year, and there's been a lot of great moments, walk-off wins and whatnot, but Alberto Rosario, his base hit, first major league hit in Milwaukee after 10+ years in the minor leagues. Just this past week, as you mentioned, with Alex Reyes and his debut, that was electric. And certainly here for Luke Weaver, a 1-2-3, bottom of the first. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jed Jerko. Who did you face? Do you remember your first major league at bat?
Bill Gullickson. We're going way back. In Tiger Stadium, the old Detroit Tiger Stadium. We flew all the way from Vancouver, Canada, stopped somewhere I don't remember, got into Detroit and drove straight to the ballpark. And I mean, Tiger Stadium was a relic. I mean, it was amazing to see. And I pulled up to it, didn't think that it was possible that that thing could have a stadium, a game going on inside. But what a great place that was.
It's kind of like here. You know, you're in the middle of a few neighborhoods, and all of a sudden there's this ballpark.
Yep. It turned into one of my favorite places to hit, just because all you had to do was square it up, and you had a pretty good chance for a home run, if not an upper deck shot. So it is. Once you get used to playing in ballparks like this, they're a lot of fun.
Check on Yachty. Jed Jerko's 16th home run of the season yesterday matches his total from last year with San Diego. Did that in his 84th game. And last year it took him 128 games with the Padres. Way out in front, pops it up. Contreras gives it a look, and it's out of play.
Well, I mean, we've seen 6 hitters now. You can tell that Kyle Hendricks has something special because, like I said, the guys are late on the fastball. They're way out in front of the breaking ball and the changeup, so that's why he's so successful. He's got a little deception, but his stuff is pretty sharp.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Strikeout number 5. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in high definition on over 400 supported devices. That includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. A guy like Gary LaRocque comes to mind for me, who runs the minor league system, and you get to make that call to the young man or his manager in the minor leagues. How much pride you must have in seeing these kids graduate to the big leagues.
And you know what? That's the second time this week you've said that. It's impressive that you even go to there, because he's probably a guy that really is behind the scenes so much and gets forgotten about, because we get to show Mo all the time, and the big league guys are around all the time, but those guys in the minor leagues and coaching staffs and all the way up to the bottom, from the bottom to the top, and guys behind the scenes don't get enough credit. Yeah, I'm sure it's a happy moment. Like I said the other day with Reyes, he's probably like a proud daddy, you know, just watching his young guys come up and getting a chance to break into the big leagues.
2 balls and 1 strike. I asked Mo, I said, do you make that call to, in this case, Luke Weaver? And he said, nope, I let Gary and the staff in the minor leagues do it because they earned it. They helped him get him here.
I tell you what, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
He said, I have to make the uncomfortable calls when you're going down.
Yeah.
Or maybe out of the organization. 2-2 the count. How do you approach hitting Kyle Hendricks?
It really looks like you have to stay back and try to hit the ball the other way, drive the ball up the middle, because it seems like here you might see another changeup, but he really is doing a good job of keeping the guys off balance.
Strikes out the side here in inning number 2. Luke Weaver back to work when we come back. Luke Weaver, outstanding debut in inning number 1. That first inning, a strikeout of Fowler, a strikeout of Bryant, and a ground out off the bat of Anthony Rizzo. So 1-2-3 with the Cubs in the bottom of the first. And here we are in the bottom of the second. And let's turn to Jimmy's Toyota keys to the game.
Well, the way I look at it is still time to save the series. I mean, you go on the road, you want to play 500. So they win today, you can win tomorrow. The series isn't that bad, even though it was a little ugly the first couple games. The second one to me is probably the best one, is for Luke Weaver just to enjoy the moment. Family's here. He's in Wrigley Field. I mean, it can't be any better than this. And he got the best team in baseball this year and one of the better places to play on the road, if not the best, and just enjoy the moment.
Ben Zobrist leads it off, the switch hitter. Such a versatile player. Second, first, third, right, and left. He has played everywhere.
And that's what we're talking about. Everything that Joe does works. I mean, he's got an athletic team. He can throw guys everywhere. And I mean, when you have that opportunity to put guys in different positions, to spell guys days off, keep your team fresh. And we saw what happened yesterday with Caesar. I mean, he went off yesterday, and it's just, I mean, another check mark for Joe, calling the right shots and everything working out.
2-1 the count. That's ripped down the right field line and fair into the corner. Zobrist digging for second base. And the first hit for the Cubs off the bat of Ben Zobrist is a double. Here's Addison Russell and the double by Zobrist. Russell looks at his strike. Weaver did not face any of the Cubs minor leaguers. His short journey through the minor leagues. And the 0-1 pitch. Just missed. His body type kind of reminds you of Mike Leake.
That was one of the reports that I got. A little bit taller version of Mike Leake. Good athlete. Fields his position really well.
While at Florida State, he was the Rawlings Gold Glove recipient for most outstanding defense at the pitcher position.
Like I said, fields his position well.
Right over the Cubs dugout, 2-2. Zobrist, your runner at second base. Count runs full. I think what's going to be interesting is how deep can you go with Luke Weaver? How short is that leash from Mike Matheny? You've got Alex Reyes to follow, who could give you multiple innings. That's it out of play.
I'll tell you what, if Luke can go out there and give 5 innings strong, and the reason why saying 5 is just because adrenaline will slow down eventually and probably wear him out before his pitch count does. You have Alex Reyes out there, and I'm telling you what a better 1-2 combination right now to kind of get you back on track.
3-2 pitch. Ground ball yanked foul. You can see he's had some of these hitters off balance here. Good changeup.
Good changeup, good fastball. The cutter. Just the key is going to be able to hit the glove and keep throwing strikes on both sides of the plate.
Fly ball hit down the right field line, tailing into the seats. He's coming off a tremendous month of July. Cardinals minor league pitcher of the month in June. 1.40 ERA. Had 42 strikeouts and 38 2/3. It's interesting too that he was up briefly at Memphis and then right here to the big leagues. You get to Double-A now, you're very close. Out to deep left. Addison Russell puts the Cubs on top.
I don't know if that's a changeup or a slider. 83 miles an hour. Didn't have much break either way, but you know, it's welcome to the big leagues. I think it's just one of those things you got to now put it behind you. You're in the game, and make a mistake, you got to move forward.
Jason Hayward, and a strike.
Dad's still watching with the same look. Seen it before, I'm sure.
Hayward with a fly ball, right field. Will stay in the ballpark, and the catch is made by Piscotty. So behind Luke Weaver, around the horn presented by Dobbs. So look at the Cardinals defense. Moss, Richick, Piscotty, Peralta, Garcia, Jerko, and Carpenter on the infield. And Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Wilson Contreras. Two 2-0 Chicago on Addison Russell's 14th home run. Contreras hitting .275, homered here yesterday, his 7th, and he's driven in 23 in limited time. And now it's a walk by Weaver. So the double, home run, a fly out, and a walk. Just going to step away.
Yeah, good job by Yadi going out to the mound right here. This is exactly, I was actually thinking about it myself. This is exactly the time where you got to go out there and talk to him. It looked like started to lean forward a little bit and try to push the ball down in the zone, and when you start doing that with your body, the fastball starts riding up in the zone, and you start elevating a little bit, so you can't force the ball down with your chest. You got to throw it downhill, and things are starting to happen a little quick now, trying to make maybe a better pitch each pitch he goes out there. So Yadi did a good job right there of just go out there and slow him down, let him take a deep breath, regroup.
Javier Baez hitting .275. First pitch is strike. It's one thing that Weaver possessed in the minor leagues. Very good control. Not a lot of walks, a lot of strikeouts. Tremendous ERA. Oh, and 2. What do you think about it here? You have the 8th place hitter, then the pitcher's spot. Get out of this inning, regroup. And the 0-2 pitch to Baez. Change up, and it's popped up. Carpenter giving chase near the Cardinals bullpen, and a long foul ball. So what have you seen from Weaver? thus far?
I like what I've seen. I mean, he came out and the first inning had everything under control. Second inning trying to get ahead, gave up a double and then a home run. You get that walk, and then you got to see what you're made of right here. You just got to keep going. But I like what I see. Looks like he's under control and calm, and got to get back to hitting his spots just like that.
BJC Healthcare Difference Maker, the double play balls. 110 turn by the Cardinals. The 0-2. Check swing. Did not go.
Good curveball right there. Good spot, too. That's the things you watch for. Like I said, hitting his spots, but those 2-strike curveballs have got to be down in the zone.
On 1-2, the next two, Baez. Pokes it out to right center. Not a bad pitch. Good piece of hitting. Went down to get it. Runners at the corners, and now it's Kyle Hendricks.
Really good piece of hitting. It's the thing, though, too, when you get up here in the big leagues, and hitters with 2 strikes will make the adjustment. They'll slow down a little bit. Sometimes guys down in the lineup, the smaller guys in the lineup, guys that are base hit guys, sometimes you want to stay hard with them because they're looking just to put the ball in play. So you can see Javier Baez doing a great job of really just kind of waiting to see what he's going to get, just put the ball in play, and good things will happen.
Now it's Hendricks. A lot of different options here for the Cubs and what they might want to do. Hendricks only hitting 105. Rookie a little shaky here in inning number 2 of the debut.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Joe Madden pull something out of his hat to start the runner. A little hit and run. Just take a chance.
Bunt is down. Weaver has a play to Yachty, and the tag is there for the outs.
Little safety squeeze.
Just like we thought.
I'll tell you what. Joe's trying to take advantage of the opportunity right there. Maybe catch everyone off guard. Maybe catch the young pitcher kind of over concentrating right there, but really not a good bunt. Kind of left Contreras hang out to dry, but good job by the young man right there.
So runners at first and second. May have gotten him on the hand, but just to make sure, tagged him there. Here's Dexter Fowler. Was caught looking his first time up. That pitch in the dirt. Big gap in right center. Fowler came in hitting .283. Hendricks the runner at first. Baez at second base. Two balls, no strikes.
Tell you what, the Cubs really do a good job of being patient. See a lot of their at-bats are not flying out of their shoes with 2-0 right there. He could have easily went after that and swung over the top of a changeup. Baez did a good job with 2 strikes. They're aggressive when they need to. I mean, really, it's a really solid approach that these guys are throwing out there each and every at-bat.
He's finding himself now in hitters counts. 31 pitches here in the second inning. Closing in on 50 for the day. 3 balls and a strike on Dexter Fowler. Second walk. Bases loaded. This could be a defining at bat for his day. Bases loaded. Chris Bryant at the plate.
Yeah, I always love to hear what was being said at the mound, but right now it's just you're one pitch away from getting a ground ball double play. Concentrate on that. Keep the ball down. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 outs.
Foul back. Bryant first time up, struck out. Luke Weaver struck out the first 2 that he saw in the big leagues. Had a 1-2-3 first and has run into trouble here in the second. The 0-1. Now it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Seen Yachty call an awful lot of changeups in this game.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying right there. You can see the hitters making adjustments already. With 2 strikes, softening up their approach, not trying to do too much. That's where you got to attack with the fastball.
2-2.
Yachty doing what Yachty does best. So that breaking ball kind of kicks off to the right. Just got to knock it down and keep it right there in front of you.
The 2-2 to Bryant. The reaction of the family. Oh.
Look at his father. I love it. It's so awesome.
The 2-2 pitch to Chris Bryant. Ground ball. Garcia across the diamond. One of the key plays so far, this play for Weaver. Getting Contreras at the plate. A home run, and it's 2-0. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. By your local Volkswagen dealer. And taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. First Major League plate appearance, Luke Weaver. Hendricks has struck out 6. He hit a man. That was Stephen Piscotty back in the first, allowed a base hit to Molina. Cardinals have stranded 2. Here's a 1-1.
Pretty nice to get your first hit with your first strikeout.
Gets down the line, but then thrown out.
Be a pretty good day in the big leagues.
Oh, yeah.
Have to wait and see.
Kia in the driver's seat. Kyle Hendricks, the ERA leader for the Chicago Cubs. 2.17, but barely over a run a game here at home. Clayton Kershaw is trying to get back from that sore back and his issues there, and Dodgers are hopeful he'll be back for September. Change up and Garcia out in front. First pitch strikes, 9 of 10. So with this kind of stuff, you get strike 1. You can see why he's having very good success.
Well, and you can see also the movement of the catcher. They're definitely trying to keep everyone off balance. In, out, in, out. It's not just away, occasional breaking ball. I mean, he's got every pitch on both sides of the plate.
Garcia breaks his bat. The 1-2. Line to short, and there's Russell. After the postgame show, catch Cardinals Legends. Takes you back to 1996. New ownership, new manager, new team. A look back at Cardinals Legends 1996. 2 outs, and it's Stephen Piscotty.
Really good changeup. Not afraid to throw it at any count. Keeping it down.
Base hit, Piscotty. Second time he's been aboard. Nationals have officially released Jonathan Papelbon. Apparently he wanted out, and they gave him his release.
You want out? Here you go.
Yep. Here's Carpenter, who struck out. So you like this idea, Matt Carpenter dropping down to third?
I don't mind it. I really don't. You're going to have to fix the problem that you have now without Matt Holliday. I like Greg Garcia giving you good at bats at the top of the lineup. So yeah, I mean, what a better guy to fill in that hole and the 3-hole than Matt Carpenter. I think you can find some guys that give you good at bats, and obviously Matt Carpenter is one of the best at it, but he's also so valuable in just his leadership and putting the ball in play and moving the guys around. He just can do so much more in the 3-hole than just kind of giving to someone maybe not as qualified.
1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals in many ways forced into this position with the loss of Adams, as you mentioned, loss of Holliday. Carpenter will tell you he loves being a leadoff man. He prefers it, really. 1-1 pitch. 1-2.
No, I think a lot of guys that have been in the top of the order their entire life, I think it's a really something for me is being said about hitting in the first inning. I don't know what that is. I know when I hit 4th and 5th, I'd love the first 3 guys, somebody to get on base. I'd love to hit in the first inning for some reason. I think that's another thing. You're going to do this with Matt Carpenter. Keeping him in the top 3 is important, maybe, to get him up in the first inning. Push him to 4. Sometimes you don't get to hit in that first inning, and it's a little bit of an adjustment.
2-2 the count. Short lead at first by Piscotty. Big gap in right center and a check on Steven. Cardinals don't run a lot. When they do, they get caught a lot. Lowest percentage of stolen bases in all of baseball. That's now 7 strikeouts for Kyle Hendricks. 2-0 Chicago. Coverage of Major League Baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. The aforementioned Jonathan Papelbon, unconditional release. Madison Bumgarner 0-3 in his last 5 starts. He'll go against Baltimore tonight. Cole Hamels 12-3 this year, and he'll get the call against Detroit. That's greater coverage of Major League Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. It's Rizzo, Zobrist, Russell against Luke Weaver. The shift is on here for Rizzo. Grounded out to first, and he's 0 for 1. 286 the average. A lot of home runs, 24. He has driven in 82 this year. Outfield is deep and straight away. Well, you get through that second inning, see if you regroup a little bit. Settle down. Rizzo with a fly ball. Shallow center. And a single. I think Grichuk may have broken bat. And also slight hesitation potentially in trying to get to that baseball. See him just take that maybe half step back, and that cost him. So base hit for Rizzo, and it brings in Zobrist. He started the rally in the second inning, leading off with a double hit down the right field line. Does not show up as an error, but again, we talk about fundamentally where this team is at, in particular on those types of plays, and it's probably a ball that should have been caught.
I'm sure if you ask him, he'll let you know. Look like he just got a bad jump, bad read.
Rizzo now in a rundown. Garcia could have tagged him and gives it to Carpenter as he tags him out. And now there's 2 outs.
Good job by Matt Carpenter here. I'd like to see Greg Garcia. You're really taught not to pump fake the ball and just to really run hard. You'd like to see that just be a one throw play. And Carp gave the ball to Garcia, and he's supposed to close and really just run after him as hard as he can and tag him, or one more throw. But you can see just a little bit of hesitation. A couple of pumps, and I think he can get out of control in a hurry.
One of the things we've seen here from Luke Weaver, pitching away to a lot of these hitters.
Yeah, we've been talking about that over and over. And the longer you stay away from hitters and the more time you let them get comfortable, they're going to start swinging harder and harder and harder. And guys will start talking to other guys and knowing that you're not going to pitch in and start leaning over the plate and give you nowhere to go, but you have to start going inside.
2-2. Addison Russell with 13 home runs last year, picked up his 14th this season back in the second, and Molina cannot hold on.
That's kind of the idea right there. He's not really worried about the pitch inside, so he can just take his time. He sees the changeup out over the plate. He doesn't have to hurry. He doesn't have to rush. He can stay back a little bit longer and see the spin on the ball.
Third walk from Weaver. Brings in Hayward. Two outs, runner at first. Russell back in safely. Mike Leake and John Lackey tomorrow night. Off day on Monday, and then we'll be in Houston. Really good matchup for game one. Jaime Garcia and Dallas Keuchel. He's had a down year, 7-11. Garcia 9-8. Then Carlos Martinez and Doug Fister in game two. It is only a 2-game series. Here's a 1-1. Cardinals this year have held Hayward in check, and they've done it primarily with off-speed pitches. Wind picks up here at the ballpark. Under the glove of Carpenter, Weaver to the bag for the out. Cubs have left 4 on, and they lead this ball game 2-0. More on him. Let's check in with Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Dan Matheny told me his advice to Luke Weaver: have fun, don't try overloading on information, and lean on Yachty. Mike told me even with a young pitcher, he wants them to throw their game. He said if that means shaking off Yachty, that's fine. He said I don't want them to be robots. He also said I want them to trust that Yachty can help them be their best. And Dan, I also asked Alex Reyes if he gave Luke any advice, and he told me it was simple: focus on Yachty.
Well, that's what he's done. We haven't seen him shake off Molina so far. It's kind of a fine line in doing that, though. You're the pitcher. You know what you feel like. You know what you want to throw. And yet you have a potential Hall of Famer behind the plate in your debut.
Yeah, the word conviction means a lot on the mound. You got to throw your pitches with conviction, and that's if you start to feel uncomfortable with a certain pitch, you either have to tell your catcher, hey, this isn't the pitch I want to throw right now, or you got to shake him off. You cannot throw pitches that you do not feel comfortable with and you're not 100% sure that you're going to make that pitch.
0-2 the count on Moss. That's now 8 strikeouts for Hendricks. 6 is a serious number, and on the run when the Cardinals score 6, any size drink, just 50 cents the next day. That's Coffee Fountain frozen drinks. When they score, you pour. At your nearest on the run, you earned it. Kyle Hendricks, 8 strikeouts, and we're only in the 4th. But as you mentioned, Jimmy, I mean, we've seen these hitters very much today off balance, late with the fastball, head of the changeup. That pitch was up, and Molina strokes another base hit into left. He's 2 for 2.
Especially when you see a guy that's throwing 88, 89. It's not like he's throwing 95. I mean, he probably hides the ball a little bit, may look like it's 91, 92, but when you see guys swinging late at a fastball at that velocity, you know that in the back of their mind there's curveball, changeup lurking, and makes it tough to hit like that.
Saw Molina snap his career best 24-game on-base streak. That was yesterday as he went 0 for 2. His on-base percentage was close to 500 in those 24 games. So he stands at first with 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes on Johnny Peralta.
It's a really good changeup, as we're seeing over and over and over. I mean, he is pulling the string back, some of these hitters, and that's a changeup right down the middle. Johnny Peralta way out in front.
On the inside corner and struck him out. 9 today for Hendricks. This is something else. 9 strikeouts, Kyle Hendricks, and we're not even through 4. It brings in Jerko. He struck out his first time up. As we talked about, home run number 16 yesterday. And going back to June 18th, he leads the major leagues in home runs. Here's the 0-1. 0-2. Very short lead at first by Molina. Big crowd. Temperatures have cooled a bit. Rain in the forecast. And a cloudy day here in Chicago.
Some would consider it a nice day. Cooled off a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Little breeze.
Jerko. A grounder hit left side, and the Cardinals are through. 9 strikeouts. St. Louis has left 4 on. It's 2-0. Special Bud Bash themed ticket for the August 23rd game. Mets will be in town that day. Fans with the Bud Bash themed ticket get a limited edition Chris Carpenter bobblehead. And tickets are at cardinals.com/budbash. Luke Weaver so far has allowed 2 hits. It was interesting. The Cardinals had Seth Maness up and throwing if you got to Weaver's spot in the 4th. He is sat down. That's his line thus far. 73 pitches. Wilson Contreras. And a ground ball hit off the end of the bat. Taken there by Carpenter for the out. Here's Javier Baez and then Kyle Hendricks. So we'll see how long he goes in this game. If he did have Maness up, had that threat against Hendricks, Mike Matheny saying, okay, get the debut out of the way, but also this might be our best crack at getting at Kyle Hendricks. That did not materialize, so he's still in this game. First pitch to Baez is taken for a ball.
Well, just the longer he can go in this game, the better for him in the long run. Got to figure out a way to score some runs, though, but every pitch he throws right now is a bonus for the team and for himself. I mean, he's really experience is all that's needed here, but got to score some runs.
2-0 the count. Ground ball, backing up, Jerko, and makes the play. Two outs, and the hitter is Kyle Hendricks. He tried to have a safety squeeze to provide a run, and Weaver was able to make that play and get Contreras trying to score from third. Two outs, nobody on. Strike one. Cardinals have Grichuk, Weaver, Garcia coming up. Hendricks, who is at the plate, has struck out 9 through 4 innings. And the 0-2.
Like Luke is trying to pick up the pace a little bit, work a little quicker.
2-2 pitch. Right below us. Two. Third strikeout for Luke Weaver. We head to the fifth. 2-0 Cubs. It is Randall Grichuk, then a pinch hitter. That'll be Colton Wong as Alex Reyes gets up, and he'll start to loosen for the fifth inning. So not a bad debut for Luke Weaver. Couple of runs allowed on the home run, but other than that, settled in. Good first, good fourth inning. Get that one under your belt. 85 pitches for Weaver. Grichuk lines it to Bryant at third. Pinch hitter is Colton Wong.
Just enough movement right there to be off the end of the bat. Another chance for a double, but just Bryant makes a pretty nice play right there.
Wong on the first pitch and a ground ball to second. Baez with the play, and there's two down. Here's Garcia. He is lined out to short and also struck out. What's interesting is that Reyes obviously has been a starter. This is a very quick inning. He got up to start the throw right when Randall Grichuk was at the plate. And there is a major difference in trying to get ready as a reliever as opposed to being a starter. Wong swings at the first pitch, grounds out. All of a sudden, he's only thrown 3 or 4 pitches to get loose.
And that's left Greg Garcia to kind of have a tough at bat here. He's got to pay attention and know that he needs to work a count here.
Hit to short. Russell slings it over to first. Alex Reyes coming on when we come back. Two 2-0 Chicago. And now it's the electric Alex Reyes. Boy, was he fun to watch the other night.
Sure was something. See what he does here, and out of the bullpen again with maybe a little bit of a short warm-up. See how he handles it.
The top of the lineup, Dexter Fowler. Lifts a fly ball out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. You watch Reyes. It's kind of free and easy, and it's 100, 101. Bam. Right on the hitter.
Real slow, deliberate start to his windup, and then just arm coming at you.
1-2 the count. Fastball and a base hit into right. So look at Weaver's afternoon in his major league debut. It was 1-2-3 first inning, 1-2-3 fourth inning, ran into trouble in the second, struck out 3, walked 3, gave up the home run to Addison Russell for the only damage. And he leaves this game with a 2-0 deficit. Here's Chris Bryant. came up with the bases loaded and grounded out. He has also struck out. First time that we see Reyes work with a runner on. His delivery to the plate, keeping runners on, giving Yadi a chance. That's something to think about here too.
What I like about him too is first two pitches that you see, strikes, velocity still up, and quick to the plate. So he's giving himself a chance with a runner on first, and giving Yadi a chance with the runner on first, and throwing strikes.
0-2 pitch, and he struck him out. He has 3+ pitches. There's the changeup
right there. Yeah, pretty good changeup right there. Look at all 3 of those pitches are on the outer edge of the plate, which you like to see, especially, like I said, coming in a game out of the bullpen and going right to the stretch, which probably as a starter you're not working in the stretch as much as you would as a reliever, but something to think about, being able to still go out there and throw strikes on the stretch, still get velocity up, and giving Yadi a chance to throw out the runner with the time.
One out, runner at first, that is Fowler. A shift on for Anthony Rizzo. What's a good time to the plate?
I think 1-3 and under is the kind of the median.
And for fans that don't know, when do you start it? When does it end?
As soon as he starts his movement right there, and then when he goes to the plate, and it's when the catcher catches the ball. So you want to be 1.3 seconds from your first movement towards home plate and to the catcher's glove. That will keep, if you stay underneath that, that'll keep most runners from trying to run unless they're super fast.
1-2 the count.
Helps if you're throwing 97. Ball gets there just a little bit quicker.
We saw him hit 101 on the gun the other night. The knee buckling breaking ball. And a liner that's caught by Jerko.
Rizzo does a nice job right there of fighting off a changeup. Like I said, 97 with a decent changeup is tough. 97 with a good changeup is even tougher. And Alex has both of those, and Rizzo does a nice job of just trying to put the ball in play, and almost got himself a hit with that shift.
First pitch is a ball to Ben Zobrist. Reyes is set, and a 1-0 pitch to Zobrist. We saw the debut of Alex Reyes, much anticipated this past week. He handled himself that day. Looked like he'd been a 10-year vet. No big deal.
Nice and calm out there today. You can just see it, you know, you look around for like breathing and little things, but twitchy, and it's literally just walking around like ho hum, Just another day at the ballpark. Not really breathing hard. You can see it in someone's demeanor as they walk.
Follow your runner at first, and the 2-1 pitch. Out of play. It's been talked about a lot. If he's going to be a starter at this level, needs to be more efficient. Runner goes, and Yachty to second. Out. So Fowler erased with the caught stealing. That ends the 5th. Garcia applied the tag. Take a look at the tag here. Comes off the bag, and then the tag by Garcia. Hall of Famer Bob Gibson. That day, 30,000 fans, 16 and older, receive a Bob Gibson Red Jacket statue to add to their collection. Courtesy of Scott Credit Union. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Stephen Piscotty, Matt Carpenter, and Brandon Moss. Hendricks has struck out 9. And he's allowed 3 hits. So overall, were you impressed with Luke Weaver making his debut?
Yeah, I think he did a good job. I thought he, the one mistake, but other than that, I thought he was around the plate. I'd like him to be a little bit more efficient, but you know what? The couple of times that he got in trouble with pitch count, there was a lot of foul balls. So even I think Kyle Hendricks had a 7 or 8 pitch at bat. Other than that, I thought he moved the ball around. I'd like to see him pitch a little bit more inside, obviously. We talked about it, but overall, I was very pleased with what we saw.
1-2 the count here on Piscotty. Hit by a pitch and single to right. He pulls it foul. You watch Hendricks, and there's nothing that really stands out. I mean, it's not a blistering fastball, overpowering breaking ball, but he'll mix it up and change his speed so well.
Seems like he'll throw any pitch at any count on either side of the plate, and that's what makes it tough.
Piscotty with a high fly ball out to left, near the wall, and the catch is made. Wind is blowing a little bit.
It has shifted
from left to right.
It's shifted. We can feel the wind up here in the booth for the first time in the last 3 days, and always seems to happen when you just miss one that the day before that ball would have easily have carried into the stands.
Kubota power stats. As you get a look at Carpenter, most home runs since the break, St. Louis with 40. Pitch taken low and outside. Carpenter 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Moss on deck. Outfield is shading him a bit opposite way, so big gap in right center. Hit down the right field line, and the wind pushing that well foul.
Another change up there.
Well, the wind just, once it got up to a certain level, it just took it.
And the wind's picking up a little bit more as each inning has gone by.
There's that changeup, strikeout number 10 and 3 of Carpenter today.
See that changeup grip right there. It looks just like a two-seam fastball. Probably tough to pick up, and it's obvious that it's tough to pick up by the swings that we've been watching today.
Moss, and the wind won't stop that one. Wow, he crushed it. Jason Hayward barely even moved. Brandon Moss launches his 20th home run of the year.
I would like to think and hope that just maybe one too many changeups right there. But he just left that ball up in the zone. And that's the one thing about the changeup for me is it's a tough pitch unless you're a dead fastball hitter. If you throw a changeup first pitch, you're really not giving them anything to change up off of, and especially when you hang it. You hit that ball a long way, as you said. Ball was hammered.
Yeah, it was. Now a 2-1 game. Here's Yadier Molina. Look at Hayward. He takes about 3 steps and then says, no need to keep looking at that. Off the end of the bat, Hendricks steps and throws. Cardinals pick up a home run. They get on the board. Brandon Moss, his 20th of the year, and it's 2-1. Run and their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Registration is now open. Learn more about how you can get involved this fall and visit foxsportsupports.com. Here's Zobrist, the bottom of the 6th. Second inning for Alex Reyes. Just like the way he handles himself. There's not a lot of extra motion out there with Reyes. Gets the ball and goes. And there it is, 97.
Looks like he's in his 6th inning of work right now, just cruising along in a 2-1 game. Hope, no big deal.
The 1-1. 99. As you mentioned, probably not an easy day for the Cubs. They've never seen Luke Weaver, never have seen Reyes. For teams that rely so much on video, scouting reports, and then it comes down to, well, I've seen him before, and this is what he has.
And this is what we hear he has. Oof. You can see the difference right there. That ball really jumped on Yadi. You don't see Yadi miscatch too many balls 100 miles an hour.
3-2 pitch. Driven to center. Windle knocked that down to Randall Grichuk. So he makes the catch. Zobrist 1 for 3, brings in Russell, who is homered and walked. His home run, a 2-run shot back in the 2nd to account for the only scoring for Chicago. Wind has really picked up. This might be as windy as it's been all weekend.
Well, considering it's been hot and humid, wind barely been blowing out. Yes, this is definitely a change. A nice change, unless you're a hitter. But really going to have to hit a ball on the line now to get yourself a home run, kind of like what Brandon Moss did.
2-0 the count. Three balls, 1 strike. And he walked him. Here's Jason Hayward. Flying to right, grounded out. And Molina may, sometimes you'll see this, but walk out, calm him down. Reyes right now trying to settle back in here in inning number 2. One-0 pitch. You'll see Yadi look into the dugout, and that's for what they want to do defensively. Maybe pitch out, do something outside of just calling the pitches, but that's what Mike Matheny does. He sets the defense and what he wants. Molina is the one that puts down the signs. Hayward goes the other way and lines it foul.
Talk about that 1-3 threshold of being able to really be comfortable to run or not. That fastball right there was 1-2-1. Ooh. So not only is he throwing the ball hard, he's locating pretty well, and he's giving Yadi plenty of time to be ready to throw somebody out.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Big gap in right center. Haven't seen that breaking ball that much. A lot of fastballs and changeups.
A really good time for it right here.
The 2-2. Line to third. Double play ball. The stretch by Carpenter. Sends us to the 7th. It's 2-1. Hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Carl Edwards Jr. had been getting loose in the pen, just in case. Cardinals got 4 innings out of Luke Weaver. Gave up a 2-run homer to Addison Russell. 2 scoreless innings from Alex Reyes. Matt Bowman begins to throw in the Cardinals pen. Peralta lines out to second as he breaks his back. That is a shattered bat.
That is definitely a shattered bat. It's a dangerous situation for the pitcher.
So 1 out, and here is Jed Jerko.
Really not a big fan of those maple bats as much as I see them break. I just don't understand it.
See a lot of those the bats that are maple, they get those sharp points when they shatter. And it seems like they carry. You'll see them break off from the handle and wind up potentially injuring a player, maybe even a fan. Cardinals with 4 hits today. One of those a home run by Moss. That was back in the 6th. Jerko with a high fly ball out to left field. Is this game tied? It is. Jed Jerko has tied it up with a solo homer, and it's 2-2. Home run number 17 for Jerko.
Maybe a little bit of a sigh of relief for the Weaver parents, where they don't have to worry about their son getting a loss. And looks like just another hanging changeup. Jed Jerko to pound on right there. Doesn't make many mistakes, but when he does, they've been hit today.
Here is Grichuk.
Goes a look at that changeup again.
The check swing, and he went. After the long afternoon, Cardinals were beat up in a disappointing game one. Little life for St. Louis now. It's a new game. Strikes out. Second time that Grichuk has struck out. That's number 11 for Hendricks. So now with a tie game, Reyes will stay in. The 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup coming up. Thanks to Jed Jerko, his home run. Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Making them work.
What you got to do.
First plate appearance here in the big leagues. Pitch number 100 to Alex Reyes. And he struck him out. 12 strikeouts for Hendricks. The Cardinals, though, tied up. A Jerko home run, and it's 2-2. Thousand fans 16 and older. Collectible plaque honoring Chris Carpenter, Joe Torre, Terry Moore, and Sam Braden. Those four will be inducted into the Cardinals Hall of Fame earlier in the day. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. So the third inning of work now, following the home run by Jerko for Alex Reyes. This game is tied at 2-2. It'll be Contreras, Baez, and a pinch hitter. I would say Alex Reyes has been as good as advertised. We've heard so much about this kid. Had the chance, Jim, to visit with him 3 years ago doing some work for the Cardinals down at spring training, and we do that work sometimes in the early portions of spring before the minor leaguers get there. And he was nursing an injury, and he was so inquisitive as to what we were doing. And then we started talking, and we had about an hour-long conversation, where he's from, how he wound up in the Dominican, how he got to the Cardinals. He's very appreciative, very nice kid. Very excited to be here, I can tell you that.
You know what? I ran into his parents in the elevator briefly, and it's nice to see that they made the trip here. The amazing Wrigley Field. Now they get the chance to watch their son pitch.
Look at that, 96, blew it right by him on 3-1. Three-two pitch, Reyes. Three-two pitch. 100 on the gun. Free and easy.
Another fastball away. There we go with the changeup.
3-2.
Good
Struck
pitch.
him out. Second strikeout for Alex Reyes.
That is a big league pitch right there. 3-2 count after fouling off and putting yourself in a good position with 8 pitches you've seen. I'm hoping that from up here eventually he's going to throw the breaking ball or the changeup, but as a hitter, when you see 100, you can't think about that.
Now Baez. Crowd today 41,278. 41278. The 0-1. Yeah, this has primarily been fastball changeup. Saw the previous pitch, inside fastball, which gets your attention, as you know, Jim, as a hitter. Backs you up and then maybe sets you up for the
other stuff, the off-speed stuff. I'd like to see a little bit more of that. Their game plan is their game plan, but
struck him out. 100.
Just a little bit late on that swing. Woo. See, that right there is having a little bit of a scouting report, knowing that he has 3 good pitches, and then just get the good old fastball right down the middle, and might not have been looking for it, because that is as down the middle and straight as it gets.
Matt Caesar, big day yesterday. Couple of home runs and a double. No pinch hit. 2 outs, nobody on, and that's it out of play. It's a glimpse into the future watching Reyes, but also for the now, what a weapon he could be. And there's the curveball. Wow.
Oops. What's maybe what he was saving it for right there. The old knee buckle head jerk. You usually only get one. He got both.
0-2 pitch. This is fun watching him, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's just like, it's nice to see him work under control, moving the ball around.
1-2 pitch taken high. 2-2.
Like I said, when you're under control, you can tell by the off-speed stuff. And so far, he's thrown his changeups in good location. And you saw that breaking ball a little high, though, but it definitely has some control underneath him for all these pitches.
Ground ball slowly hit to short, charged by Garcia, picked by Carpenter. Alex Reyes, 3 scoreless innings. 2-2. Chevy Cole to the pen. Carl Edwards Jr. joined the Cubs for the second time back on the 20th of June. And is not allowed to run in 15 of his 18 games. So Greg Garcia will lead it off. Kyle Hendricks struck out 12 in 7. First pitch to Garcia. Taken low. Top of the lineup for the Cardinals. Garcia, Piscotty, Carpenter. The benefit of Reyes starting in the minor leagues in this particular game is that he can give you 4 or 5 innings.
That's something we were looking at in the last couple of days, is when they're going to use him, and knowing that maybe this is right around his start day and only went an inning last time. Perfect opportunity to use both these young kids if they needed to go a little bit deeper into the bullpen. You knew you had Reyes to go 3 or 4 innings plus.
These are the kind of series, I'm sure, as a manager, you feel beat up. Wrigley, day games, as Garcia lines out to center. Tough to play in, and it's tough to pitch in. But Reyes so far has made it look easy.
4 games at Wrigley. Long 4 days, especially with the bookends of night games and the 2-day games in between. Especially after those first 2 games. It's a tough place to play anyways, I think. But doesn't make it easier when you lost the first 2.
Inside to Piscotty. Cardinals with 5 hits. Luke Weaver making his major league debut. 2 of the 5 hits, home runs. Moss and Jerko. Both were solo shots. Jerko's tied it up. It was in the 7th inning. Addison Russell, 2-run homer back in the 2nd. Put the Cubs on top. 2-0 pitch to Piscotty. Steven didn't like that call, and we had to look at it up here in Fox Tracks, and that was a good 2-3 inches outside. 2-2. Three-two pitch. Hit the other way. Going towards the foul pole and out of play. Three-two again. Foul back. Cubs will have the top of their lineup looking into the bottom of the 8th. Fowler, Bryant, and Rizzo. 8-pitch at bat this far for Stephen Piscotty. Good at bat. Go ahead run is on. That's coming up. Don't miss the Cardinals Cares 6K run presented by Anthem. That's a Sunday, September 18th. Start at the Stand the Man statue, run through downtown St. Louis. Finish on the field at Busch Stadium. For more information and to sign up, head to cardinals.com/6K. Tough day for Carpenter. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. See Contreras hold that ball, trying to get the call. Strike zone betrayed Ron Kolpa late in game 1 of this series. Cost the Cardinals potentially when you think about it. Misplays, ran into outs. That was also part of the story too. That walk by Piscotty, the first the Cardinals have received today.
You think about, you see the strike zone change a little bit. It was bigger the other night, tight at the end, cost a bases loaded walk by not getting a strike call, but something that both teams have to deal with. It's just unfortunate when it kills you as a team. And even the situation with Piscotty getting a 2-0 pitch that's off the plate, called for a strike, changes the complexion of your at bat and kind of, I mean, they always say, oh, it's just one strike, but it totally turns the at bat around.
1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. No activity in either pen. Long walk here by Chris Bosio. Slow. Now let's see if they enforce the rule. By the time he gets there and starts talking, which is now, he's at 17 seconds left.
So he's got 30 seconds from the time he starts to walk out there to finish up.
That's right. technically he's supposed to be off the field right now.
Well, you got to love him for trying. And that is playing by the rules, Chris Bosio. I'll take that short walk out there and quick visit and right back in the dugout anytime.
2-0 the count. Carpenter, base hit, right field. Piscotty stops at second. Cardinals know about that arm in right field. Jason Hayward. Go ahead run in scoring position. First hit for Carpenter, and it brings in Brandon Moss, who is homered. Let's see Piscotty running hard and then picked up. Third base coach Chris Maloney put up the stop sign. Shift is on here for Brandon Moss. Outfield is deep. Inside.
Another homer would be nice.
Oh yeah.
Just for fun.
Moss with his 20th back in the 6th inning. Got the Cardinals on the board. Then a Jerko solo home run tied it up in the 7th. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Brandon Moss. Hit the other way and foul. This is what you call a no-doubter. Jason Hayward about 3 steps and then stopped. Moss knew it. Everyone knew it here at the ballpark. Games 1 and 2, the Cardinals were 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position. First time they have had a man in scoring position today. Three and 1. See if he can't do some damage. Hitters count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded.
Edwards has got a nice, I mean, that's a nice cutter right there. He's just missing, but you can see what pitching in does. Those guys look like they don't even really want to offer at some of those fastballs in off the plate because that's just not where you're looking. With a good arm. Look for Yachty right here. Probably just try to stay inside something and shoot it to right center. It'd be nice at bat the way he's been throwing. Little Yachty chant.
Some boos as well. Bases loaded. First pitch to Molina. Strike 1. 2 hits today. 2 of the 6 for the Cardinals. Singles to left. Doesn't strike out a lot, puts the ball in play. You did get a little concerned about the potential of a double play. Piscotty is the go-ahead run at third base. The 0-1.
Pretty much a waste pitch right there. I don't understand, but I think he wanted that ball off the plate. As soon as he set up that far off the plate, I immediately looked at first base to see if they were going to try and throw behind Brandon Moss.
One and 2.
He's yet to throw Yachty a strike, and yet got him 1-2.
Struck him out, but the ball gets away. Here comes Piscotty. He'll score, and the Cardinals go on top. It's now a 3-2 St. Louis lead. That's one way to drive him in.
I'll tell you what. I mean, that is a sharp, sharp breaking ball, but that's one of the problems with trying to throw that pitch with the bases loaded. You bounce it a little bit. When you bounce it a lot, I mean, that ball bounces in front of the plate. No chance to block it. The only thing better than that would have Yachty would have held up. Had another crack at two guys at second and third now with one out.
Shook up on the play. Contreras, the catcher, as he tried to block that. Kevin Segras now throwing in the Cardinals' pen. Runners at second and third. So Contreras finally now set to go after he was shook up. Ball 1 to Peralta. Jerko is on deck. Runners at second and third for the Cardinals. Carpenter at third. At second base, it's Brandon Moss. 2-0 the count. 3-0.
Not likely to swing here.
Walked him. Third walk in the inning. Does Joe Madden now go to his bullpen? Bases loaded. Jed Jerko will be the hitter.
I would have to believe if I was Joe Madden, I would be a little anxious here, considering the only really pitch that he's been able to throw for a strike has been the fastball. Jed Jerko can definitely hit a fastball.
Jerko, last time up in the seventh, solo home run.
And he can hit a hanging changeup also.
So bases loaded again. And now Jed Jerko. I don't know about you. I'm very surprised he is stuck with Edwards. 3 walks in the inning. Here's a 1-0 pitch. 2-0. This crowd is restless here at Wrigley. The first man to line out, that was Garcia. Walk to Piscotty. Base hit Carpenter. Walk to Moss. Struck out Molina. Walk to Peralta. That's to the backstop. And Carpenter does not score. Late reaction from Matt Carpenter.
You can see Brandon Moss was so surprised. He almost got picked off back at second base. Matt Carpenter didn't look like he was ready to run there, wasn't expecting it. Might have just cost a run for the Cardinals.
3-0 the count. Edwards is wild. He walks in a run to make it a 4-2 St. Louis lead. And that'll be it. So a Chevy called to the pen. St. Louis on top. It's now 4-2. Chicago. And the Cardinals will have Randall Grichuk coming to the plate. Segrist is loose and ready in the pen. Just wonder how tempted Mike Matheny would be if Reyes' spot would come up to keep him out there for one more inning. That will not be the case, though. Check swing. Strike one. Grichuk is lined out a soft liner to third and struck out twice. Oh, 1. Grichuk lines it into deep left center field. Will it carry? It does! Into the basket. Grand slam! Randall Grichuk. Talk about a line shot and some strength off the bat of Grichuk.
What amazes me is every time I watch it, it's just a short swing, no finish, just pulls the bat through the zone, and that's it. Just buggy whipped it.
Eight to 2. Hazelbaker pops it up. Wynn playing tricks with that. Big inning for the Cardinals. Highlighted by a Randall Grichuk grand slam. by Bud Light Lime and by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. One of the questions right now that Joe Madden will be facing is how he left Carl Edwards Jr. in the game.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that too. After, I think, what was it, 2 walks, maybe even after the 3rd walk, he left him in.
And now it is Segrist, and it's a chance for Alex Reyes, by the way, to pick up his first major league win.
That would be nice.
So Chevy called to the pen. Grand slam by Randall Grichuk. One ball, 1 strike on the switch hitting Dexter Fowler. Fowler, Bryant, and Rizzo. 8-2 St. Louis in the bottom of the 8th. The numbers there on Kevin. The 2-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's Weaver on the far right. Reyes there on the left. Two-two pitch. Fly ball lifted down the right field line and out of play. Carl Edwards Jr. with 4 walks into right after the 3rd one. After he got the Molina strikeout and scored on a wild pitch. Loaded the bases again, stayed with him, and loaded up Jed Jerko.
And he didn't even throw a strike to Molina. So could have been with 5 walks.
Three-two pitch. Ground ball. Garcia. 1 down. So the 2 youngsters here today. Luke Weaver, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned on the home run off the bat of Addison Russell. And then Alex Reyes, 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Young man right there is impressive.
2 happy young campers right there.
Yep. It was Grichuk's first career grand slam in the major leagues, and he gets it on his birthday. He turns 25.
It's always nice.
Two and one.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. 1 homer, some RBIs, runs scored.
Three and one. Again, Garcia. Two outs.
Kevin Seagrist doing a really good job of keeping the ball down, getting the ground balls, sink action. Saw everything kind of at the bottom of the zone. Big time for a shutdown inning right here. Keep the Cubs quiet.
Anthony Rizzo is single back in the third. Strike one. Big crowd is now quiet.
Yes, it is. Went from 40,000 people on their feet to 40,000 people in their seat.
Wait a minute, 40,000 on their feet.
That almost rhymed. Oh, it did rhyme.
40,000 in their seat.
Warm it up, Chris.
It's loud enough to hear all the walk-up songs.
It is.
I mean, you hear those loud and clear.
They have definitely turned it up a notch here at Wrigley Field this year.
They really have. Loudest stadiums, Dodger Stadium, extremely loud. And Wrigley now turning into one of those as well. 1-2 the count on Rizzo. Outfield is straight away. Jammed him. Ground ball. There's Jerko. Nice work. Kevin Seagrist. 1-2-3. Sends us to the ninth, and it's 8-2. Garcia, ground ball that's hit to short. Hustling down the line, and there's the first out. Seth Maness getting loose in the Cardinals' pen. Here's Stephen Piscotty. He started the rally with a walk back in the eighth. Two-0 pitch. Scotty's been hit by a pitch, a single and a walk. Here's a 2-1. Lines it down the right field line and foul. On 2-2. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. So 2 quick outs. Let's take a look at our Nissan drive of the game. Randall Grichuk. Who else on his birthday in this home run? It's a grand slam. It's really been a tough year for him. Up and down from the minor leagues. Trying to find consistency here at the major league level.
Nice to see him come back up and get a couple of homers, especially that big one right there.
Carpenter with a base hit in that 8th inning. 1 for 4. He struck out 3 times. The 2-0. Now 2-1. Rips it into right. 2-hit day for Carpenter. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the content descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Two outs, runner at first in Brandon Moss. Got the scoring started for the Cardinals. There's a line out taken by Bryant against the shift. Seth Maness will try to get the final 3 outs when we come back. Cardinals with a lead of 8-2, highlighted by the Grichuk grand slam. 29th appearance for Seth. He has settled in here in the second half. Rough start to his season. Ben Zobrist will lead it off. The Passmores would like to wish a belated happy birthday to Justin Meyer, Jamie Brickler. They're watching Cardinals baseball today. And the Passmores never miss a game, they say.
Neither do you.
No, I don't. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield is straight away. Zobrist pulls it foul. Cardinals hold on. This will be a much needed win. One-two pitch to Zobrist. What have you seen with Manus that's given him this success in the second half?
Seems like he's a little bit more healthy. I mean, you see a little bit more sharpness to his pitches. He's been pitching ahead. I think that when you're hurt, you kind of nibble a little bit more, and so you get behind a lot more, and that's when it gets you in trouble.
Base hit into center field.
See if he can do what he does best right here, and that's throw a little sinker, get a double play.
I have a stat that I know that you'll love to hear.
I cannot wait.
Addison Russell base hit into center. Grichuk, first major leaguer to homer and have a grand slam on his birthday since the Cardinals at the time, Colby Rasmus.
Sounds spectacular. I had a few rough days on my birthday for some reason. It's always just unlucky day for me.
Strike to Hayward. Hayward hitless today. No balls and 2 strikes. Off the glove of Manus. And he throws it away. From a double play off his glove to an error and a run scored. Zach Duke starts to throw in the Cardinals pen. Ruled a hit. Then the air.
Not sure what he was doing right there. It's one of those things that you're taught. You make one mistake, don't make 2. Just trying to get an out.
That'll be it for Manus. Chevy called to the pen. the parents, nobody out, runners at second and third. Well, the last thing that Mike Matheny wanted to do after a long outing in game one for Simwano is to get him loose and throwing. And that's exactly what has happened here.
Yep, you want to try and save your bullpen anytime you can, but you just never know what's going to happen in a 9-inning game. Anytime it can start to get out of control.
First pitch popped out. There's Piscotty, makes the catch. Runners stay put. All important first out. Javier Baez, runners at second and third. 1 for 3 with a single back in the second inning. Zach Duke, who took the loss the other night. Bases loaded walk and a pitch that clearly was a strike, but Cardinals had many other opportunities to win that game. One ball, one strike. Ground ball. Peralta. Run will score. And there's 2 outs. Turn to our Budweiser player of the game, and that is Alex Reyes. Chance to pick up the win. 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. And you saw him hitting with regularity triple digits. Saw the debut of Luke Weaver here today. Alex Reyes coming in relief. And the final hope for the Cubs is Jorge Soler. Ground ball that is hit to short. This should do it. The Cardinals win it. Fell behind 2-0. They win it 8-4. Reyes, his first major league win, and the win streak snapped at 11 for the Chicago Cubs.
Nice afternoon. Chance to turn this little road trip around, and with a win tomorrow, making 500 here in Chicago. But I think we saw a nice little look into the future of the pitching staff, and also Randall Grichuk with the big home run to put the game away.
The Weaver family to be here to support their son. Major league debut. Luke Weaver with 4 innings. Reyes with 3. And the Cardinals pick up a win. Post-game show comes your way next.